So today we're going to be doing my brush collection. I thought I'd share it with you guys because, I don't know, I just thought I would. I was either debating on doing a makeup collection or my brush collection video. I haven't done a brush collection video before, or not that I can remember, so I thought I'd just run you guys through the brushes that I use, the ones that I use the most, my favorite brushes, and everything like that. For somebody like me, I definitely have more brushes than I need. I have more brushes than I use, and I have pared down my collection a lot since I've started YouTube. I was so obsessed with buying brushes, so things have changed quite a bit, and this to me is a decent sized collection. Like I said before, it's definitely more than I need and use, but I'd show you guys anyways. I'm gonna try and make this video really quick because I do have quite a bit. Not a lot, but it's a lot of brushes, so I don't want to be spending too much time on each one. I have these two beauty blenders here. This is the Beauty Blender Pro. I love this stuff. I've used the pink one, and I just kind of fall in love with the black one, not only because of the color, because it's black like my soul. I don't know, I just feel like this is better than the pink one for makeup application. Beauty blenders are quite expensive. I think they run for about like $26 or $28 a pop. This one is an older one. I've had this one for about a year now. Honestly, it's time to let it go, but I don't really want to, and this one is newer. I just bought this like a couple weeks ago. I use these for everything. I use it to apply my foundation. I use it to blend out my concealer, and kind of like apply my under eye powder like when you're baking and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I use these for, but I can literally put on a full face of makeup with these guys. So if I were to toss out all of my brushes, I would still keep these behind because I can use them for everything. I guess maybe except doing my eyebrows, but these are very, very handy. Love this stuff. This is pretty much how I store my brushes. I have these acrylic cups that I picked up from Muji. I've had these cups for a year now. Love them. I just love how simple they are. These I think are pencil cups, but they were great. So the first one I have is this fan brush. This one is from Sephora. This is the 65, and pretty much if you guys are unfamiliar with this, my life changed the minute I got this brush, to be quite honest with you. I use it to apply my highlighter. That's the only thing I use it for. I just kind of rub it in there and then I just apply it to my cheekbone area. I can use it on my nose. Sometimes I use it like this, other times I use it like this. You can use it to apply highlighter to your forehead area. This brush is just really great for doing that kind of stuff. It's the only thing I've used it for. Haven't really seen it used for other things, but I'm not too interested. I just have it for that purpose. It's my one, I believe this is the 190, but I'm not sure, but this is a MAC brush. I use this to apply contour, so I can use it in the hollows of my cheek. I also use it to apply blush. So right here, and sometimes I will use this to apply highlighter as well. I don't know, I just really like it for that. I like it for, you know, just kind of applying it and blending it out. But this is a really good blending brush for your face if you want to buff something in or out. This is just a really good brush for that. This brush is from Real Techniques. This is just their contour brush, and I use this to apply contour as well. I used this brush today actually, and it just works. The size of the brush just works really well for just getting in there and just kind of, you know, applying it and then blending it out once you're done. This brush also is really soft. I've had it for a year, and the texture of the bristles haven't changed at all. And Real Techniques just makes really good brushes in my opinion. I hunted Real Techniques brushes down for quite a while before I found them. And if you live in Canada and you can't quite find Real Techniques brushes, I would definitely recommend checking out Rexall, especially too if you live in Toronto, like Ontario area. I know other people who live like in Nova Scotia, and they have it at their drug marts and pharmacies there, but I tend to find them at Rexall here in Toronto. This brush I picked up from the airport last summer. It was an impulse buy because, to be quite honest, I don't use this brush. It is the MAC 132. It is a flat brush, so it would be great for like applying concealer or foundation or anything like that, but to be quite honest, I don't really like the flat paint like brushes for applying that kind of stuff. So I can't remember the last time I used this brush, but it's in my collection. I'm not going to get rid of it because MAC brushes are expensive. Here's another brush I don't use. It's very similar to the MAC one I just showed you. This is the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques again. It's an okay brush, but like if you're looking for a more precise application, then this is what I guess I would recommend this for. But like I said, I don't really use it. It's just not one of those brushes in my collection that I reach for a lot, but I have it there. If somebody wants it, just let me know down below, I guess. This brush I use and love. I picked this up right around the time when I was introduced to the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I went into the store looking for a new concealer for highlighting my under eyes, and somebody recommended that concealer to me, and she applied that concealer as a tester on my face with this brush, and I'm just like, okay, that's just crazy. But when I ended up taking the brush home, I used it for something else. I hate using brushes to apply wet products for some reason. It just doesn't work out for me. I tend to, if I'm applying anything wet, I tend to reach for my beauty blender. But this I use to apply contours to like the smaller parts of my face. So if I'm contouring my nose area, that's what I would use this for. And it just works really well to blend it out. Or if I'm like applying eyeshadow to like the corners of my eye, I can use this to just kind of blend it out if I want something just a little bit more subtle and natural. I have the MAC 272. This is an angled brush. This also, I picked this up at the MAC Estee Lauder warehouse sale. I believe I paid like $10 for it, which obviously is a really great deal for a MAC brush, and I think that was the only reason I bought it. I bought it because it was a MAC brush and it was $10, and I knew that I would probably never get it for that price again. So I picked it up. But this brush I like to use in the outer corner of my eye. Also too, if I want to do like a, I guess like a winged or flared out eyeshadow look, this brush is really great for that because I can really get into the corner there and just kind of bring the eyeshadow up. That's pretty much what I use it for. This brush, because of the kind of like the flatness at the tip here, you could also use it to do precise lines to blend out later for your contour or anything like that, or if you want to use like a concealer to kind of clean up the outer areas of your eye after you apply your eye makeup and stuff like that. This is really good for that. I have this brush here by QUO, and QUO is a Canadian brand. It is exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart. I really like their brushes. My one complaint is that their bristles tend to be quite rough, but at the end of the day, they're still pretty good brushes. This one is the Eye Smudger Brush, and that's exactly what I use it for. This is just perfect for smudging out your eyeshadow, and the looks that I usually go for are very simple. I usually just apply some brown or dark brown eyeshadow in the outer sections of my eye, and I just kind of use this to apply it. I apply it and then I smudge it out at the same time, and this just works really well for that. The detailer brush, I use this to apply my inner eye highlight. This just works really great for that. It's small enough and precise enough for me to just kind of get in there, apply it, and just pull it out. So that's what I use that for. And then I have the ever so popular 224 blending brush, which just works really great for when I'm doing like a more extravagant, I guess, eye makeup look, which is very, very rare. I usually probably do those for like if I'm going to weddings or anything like that. That's when I'll pull this brush out. This is a special occasion brush, and I've had this since I started YouTube. It's one of my first brushes, and this just works really well for applying and blending out eyeshadow in the crease area. I've also used this brush to apply contour to the sides of my nose, and I'll just bring it up here. This is just an all-around really great blending brush. I have the 239. I believe I've had these brushes for so long, the stuff has rubbed off, but this is just a flat eyeshadow brush, which is really great. If you don't have a brush to apply eyeshadow in your collection, I highly recommend investing in this one. I've had this one for years as well, and it's just really great for picking up shadow and applying it directly onto the lids. It's just really great for that first step in application of your eyeshadow, and it's also really good too for applying wet eyeshadows like paint pots and eyeshadow primer and stuff like that. So the 219 This is the pencil brush, and this is just really great for, you know, really precise applications as well. So I would use this if I want to have like a smudged out liner look on my lids, or if I wanted to smudge out eyeliner or eyeshadow on the lower section of my eye. And I can also use this to apply highlighter on the inner corners of my eye. 217 blending brush. I often say if you have one or the other, you don't really need both, but I picked up both because I use them for completely different things. I feel like you can also use this to apply eyeshadow all over the eye. It is flat enough to do that because it is not as fluffy as the 224. So it's just a really great brush to just kind of apply eyeshadow and blend it out at the same time. I feel like if you were gonna use a brush to do a full eye makeup, then 217 is what I would recommend because it really can do everything. And then this is the MAC 266. I don't remember where I got this from. I could have gotten this at the warehouse sale, I'm not sure. But this brush is, this is my holy grail. I like to use this brush to apply to fill in my brows. It's just a really great brush, and it is so sharp and so precise, and it doesn't lose its shape or anything like that. It just makes it a really great brush to just kind of get in there and just apply precise lines to your brows and fill them in really nicely. I love this brush. It's probably my favorite brush in the entire bunch next to my beauty blenders. If someone said to me, get rid of all of your brushes but one, I'd keep this one. I would definitely keep this one. I can do all things through this brush that fills my brows. This is the MAC 187. I love this brush. It's a stippling brush. A lot of people like to use it to apply their wet foundations. They stipple it on and then they buff it out. I don't use it for that. I use this brush to apply my face powder. I just think it works really great. It gives my skin a really nice airbrushed look that I absolutely love, and I don't know, I just love it for that. I just kind of dip it in my powder, apply it to my face, and then I just buff it out. I buff it like a crazy person, and when I'm done, my skin just looks really flawless and kind of like airbrushed, and that's what I really like about this. It is a Duo Fibre Brush, so it has natural goat hairs on the top here, I believe, and then on the outsides and like down here, it's synthetic hairs. So I guess the whole idea of it is that you use this part to apply it, which gives you a lot of control over how much you apply, because it's just a really great brush for, you know, a really subtle application of makeup. And then once I use this side to stipple it in, I just go a little bit deeper and I push harder on the brush to get down to the synthetic hairs and just blend it out a lot more. And then I have the MAC 129. I believe I picked this up at the warehouse sale as well. This is a great brush. I've used this brush to apply blush. It's good for that. I don't use it a lot because, well, for one, I'm not wearing blush today, but if I were to apply blush with a brush, I would use the MAC 190. This is one I would use. So sometimes, depending on my mood or depending on whether I have a dirty brush or not, this is the brush I would pull out to apply my blushes, but that's pretty much all I use that for. I have the buffing brush by Real Techniques. I use this brush quite a lot actually in conjunction with the Duo Fibre Brush by MAC. This one is the other brush that I would use to apply my face powder. It just makes it really great for buffing it out. The roundness of it just really gets into those areas of your face, and it's just really good for, you know, buffing out your face powder, or if you want to really buff out that contour that you probably overdid. This is a really good brush for that. This brush is one of my first ever brushes as well. This is the 190 actually. So what's this one? I'm gonna double check it and make sure that I put the correct one in this video so that you guys aren't getting the wrong information. But this is the 190, and this is just a flat tipped paintbrush, much like the Real Techniques one and the other MAC one that I've shown you before. but this is just a really good brush for applying foundation. I used it a really long time ago when I used to use the MAC Face and Body. This brush works really well with the Face and Body foundation, but since I don't use that foundation anymore, and like I said, I changed up my techniques. I love to use the Beauty Blender, so I don't really reach for brushes to apply foundation, but this also works really well if you're applying concealer under the eyes and stuff like that, not necessarily for blending. It's a big fluffy powder brush. This one I like to use in the summertime or with my Hourglass ambient lighting powder. If I just want to apply light all over my body, this is the brush I would use. It's just a really great brush to just have like mass application of product. I used to use this on my face, but I find that I kind of miss a lot of areas with this brush because it's so big, so I tend to use it on my body now when I want to apply a little bit of glistening powder. So that is pretty much it for my entire brush collection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did a lot of talking, but I really wanted to let you guys know the brushes that I have and what I use them for. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you want my next video to be, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys.